Hey guys, okay, so today I'm going to be doing a stretching video. First we're going to start with just reaching across our body and stretching our arms out really good, holding that for 16 counts. Make sure you're loosening your arms in between stretches. I'm just doing the same thing with the other arm with 16 counts. Now I'm going to grab my elbow, pull it behind my head, really stretching out those shoulders for 16 counts, and then doing the same thing with the other arm for 16 counts. Now I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to lace them together behind my back and pull upward towards the sky, trying to stretch out those shoulders the best I can for 16 counts. And now we're going to take our hand and we're not going to pull, we're just going to rest it on our head and stretch out our necks quite a bit. Do the same thing with the other side with that right hand. And then just rolling our neck around, loosening it up, getting ready to spin. Now we're going to go down. We're going to reach straight down into the middle of our legs. Our legs are spread out. We're going to hold this for 16 counts. Make sure you try to get as far back in between your legs as possible. Moving on to the right leg, reaching as far down to our feet as we can, really stretching it. Every stretch is going to be 16 counts in these videos. Left leg, same thing, 16 counts, stretching as far as we can go. Now we're going to bring our legs together in the middle and reach down to our toes and just do a little pulse if you can't reach your toes, but if you can, then hold it for 16 seconds. Alright, now we're moving on to the floor stretches. We're going to stretch out our wrists. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take our palms and put them on the ground. Make sure you guys aren't pressing down too hard because you can hurt your wrists this way, but we're just making sure we get that good stretch in our tendons and our wrists. You're going to hold this for 16 counts, just like this. Now we're going to switch over to the top of our hands, doing the same motion that we just did, but just pressing down on the top. It will feel a little sore at first, but it's just getting that real good stretch on your wrist so it'd be easier to spin. You can get more flexibility with that. Alright, make sure you roll them out. Make sure they're not too stiff or anything like that. Just loosen them up a bit. Now we're going to move on to butterflies. Put your feet together, pull them as close to your crotch as you can or to your belly on the ground, and then you're going to do about, I would say about 40 to 50 pulses of these because they aren't too strenuous and they aren't too loose or anything. You just want to make sure you're really loosening up your legs for whenever we do our split stretches and everything like that. Alright, now we're going to stretch our feet out further in front of us to where our knees are almost touching the ground, and our head's going to go straight to our feet, and we're going to do about 20 pulses of this, just over and over. If you guys want to, you can do this to the beat of a song. I was actually doing it to the beat of the ticking of my clock in the background there, but just whatever you guys need to do to make this a little more fun. I know stretching can be a little boring, but I promise it'll help you in the long run. Alright. Now we're going to stretch our feet out straight in front of us. Make sure your toes are pointed up, our feet are flexed, and you're going to do 20 pulse straight to your toes. If you can touch your toes, then I want you to grab them or grab the lowest on your feet that you can. Try to grab your heels and then hold that for 16 counts. But if you're like me and you can't reach your toes, just do 20 pulses, 20 to 30, whichever one you feel more comfortable with. Now we're going to be doing each of our legs. I'm starting off with my right. Again, with our feet, our toes pointing straight up in the air, not pointed. We're going to do either 20 to 30 pulses or grabbing our feet for 16 counts. Whichever one you can do, whichever one will help you more. Just make sure you try to reach the furthest down your leg you can to get that good stretch into your legs. Alright, I'm just going to do the same thing with my left leg. Really making sure I pull, get all the way down closest to my foot as I can. Remember guys, stretching will lead to less injuries, anything like that. And that's what we want. We don't want any injuries or anything like that. So just make sure that you're stretching really good, okay? Now I'm spreading both of my legs out straight out in front of me, and my feet are still pointed up towards the sky. And I'm either going to grab my toes, grab my heels, or I'm going to do 20 to 30 pulses of each or 16 counts just like our legs earlier, making sure you really get deep stretch on this one. Alright, now let's move to split stretches. First thing you're going to do is called a hurdle stretch. Your leg's going to be at a perfect 90-degree angle. Your calf is going to be stretching across your chest, and your other leg is going to be straight behind you like you're doing a split, and you're just going to hold that for 16 to 20 counts. This is really going to stretch out your hamstrings and let you be able to go further down into your splits every time. Alright, now I'm just switching to the other leg, making sure I get that good 90-degree angle on it the best you can, and then sitting on top of it, really trying to stretch out those hamstrings. Make sure you're trying to push that other leg back as far as you can, really trying to get a good deep stretch on that. Alright, now we're going to do lunge stretches. I'm starting out with my right leg. You're going to put your leg in a good lunging position and then just straighten that back leg as far as you can. You can do pulses with these, or you can hold them. I'm holding each of mine for 16 to 20 counts, but whichever one feels more comfortable to you guys and isn't painful or anything like that. Now I'm switching to a forward lunge position. I'm just straightening that front leg and bending down, trying to reach towards my toes as far as I can. Trying to get that real good stretch in our hamstrings so we can be able to do our splits easier. Now I'm just switching to the other leg, getting that good lunge and then straightening that other leg. If you guys do want a deeper stretch, you can put your elbows down on the ground right next to your leg. It's up to you though. I just did this one this morning. Regardless, you just need to make sure you get that good deep stretch in there. Then I'm just straightening my leg, really focusing on pulling towards my toes. Really getting that good stretch into that forward pushing leg for our splits. Alright, now I'm just going to try to slide into a right split. It's okay if you don't go all the way down. Obviously, I'm not close at all, but we're just trying to get ourselves further and further to the ground each time we do these stretches. So you're just going to hold this for 16 to 20 counts as long as you can, as long as you need. Same thing with the left split, just holding it as long as you can. Really focusing on pushing your body towards the ground, letting gravity do its own job. Alright, now we're going to switch to middle split stretches. This one's called a frog stretch. What you're going to do is you're going to take your knees and you're going to push them out just like you're doing a normal split. And then you're going to sit your body on top of your knees, really stretching out that area towards your groin, making sure that it's good and stretched before we try to do our middle splits. This is a really good stretch for your middle splits. It really focuses on getting your body as close as it can to the ground. Just sit here and hold this for 16 to 20 counts again. Alright, now we're just going to try to do our middle split. Make sure you guys don't push too hard on this one. This one is one of the more painful splits. So if you try to push yourself too hard or your knees start to hurt or anything like that, make sure you pull up. Alright guys, I hope this helped, and make sure you stretch.